Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, a federal vaccine mandate for healthcare workers is paused. Tonight, how that affects Nebraska hospitals. Plus, the Unified Bowling Championships were in Lincoln today, but first...
Because it's not just UNL, but it's like the entire community is going to, benefit from all of this.
Big updates coming to downtown Lincoln. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Conway. Rod has the night off. Over $100 million. That's how much money is going toward the expansion at the Lead Center and the School of Music at UNL. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez joins us now with information on how these projects will change the landscape of downtown.
Within the next few months, the face of the Lead Center here on 12th and Q will start to look a whole lot different. Right on this corner will be home to a 3-story expansion, which is where an educational theater will be, as well as a much larger lobby.
Currently it's a little restricted, with ticket lines running into people coming into the building that already have their tickets, and we really want the experience to be smooth, fast, and easy, and just to set yourselves up to see the greatest artists in the world.
$25.5 million will be making Lincoln's Lead Center more accessible for guests with mobility issues, as well as bigger bathrooms, as the ones right now are very tight. The Educational Event Theater will be a brand new space, giving students more opportunities.
It's going to be a space that is totally dedicated to, student education and special projects, and won't be related to what's happening in the main hall. So that will give us a lot more flexibility for the future.
Around $75 million will go to the School of Music. The current Westbrook Music Building will be torn down and renovations will be made to the Kimball Recital Hall.
To put that type of importance, nearly a quarter of the overall money given to UNL to go just to music, to the arts, is incredible.
Over the last few years, attendance in the arts department has been trending down. But with these major improvements, the department hopes UNL will become a destination for artists of all kinds.
In my 4 years here, we've had some really remarkable people here, like Yo-Yo Ma. We have some amazing people working with our students. And so these facilities are going to help enhance those opportunities.
The arts department is one of the most diverse on the UNL campus, and they want their new building to reflect that.
It's important to make sure that the new building, it has, I'm just going to say, open arms to the community, whether it's first generation or not, LGBTQ, people who have physical challenges.
Reporting in Lincoln, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News.
Now, most of the money for those projects was privately funded. Construction is set to start in June, and then completion of those projects is still being determined. In other news now, shutting down services. That's what some Nebraska hospitals were looking to do if they had to enforce a federal vaccine mandate. But that enforcement has been paused for now. Channel 8's Alexis Koneski joins us live in the studio with the details. Alexa?
And that's right, Megan. The CMS rule is a federal vaccine mandate for all staff in healthcare systems, but a court ruling between a handful of states has the mandate paused. Now, while many hospitals are already understaffed, potentially losing employees to a vaccine mandate could be the last straw for some rural healthcare systems as they struggle to keep up with rising COVID cases. About 6 to 10% of Nebraska's rural hospital staff would have been terminated today if the CMS rule wasn't paused. The Nebraska Hospital Association told me some are breathing easier because of the court ruling.
Even had a few of our facilities that were really concerned that they may have to shut down services altogether if this was to occur. And so
now, Lincoln's healthcare systems and others across the state are slightly changing their vaccine mandate rules, even though the federal ruling does not prevent hospitals from enforcing their own. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll talk about what those changes are and how they could impact you.
Sounds good, Alexa. Thank you very much. Lincoln firefighters put any fear of height to the test today as they practiced rappelling down the Lead Center. The backstage of the Lead allows first responders to rappel up to 80 feet, allowing them to really put their skills that they've been learning throughout the year to the test. Being in and out of the cold helped them focus and learn these new skills so that they're ready to help in any emergency, and they gave some examples.
We may have window washers, or it may be some type of construction event that's gone on where they have individuals or workers that have gone over and they're hanging on ropes.
LFR tries to do special training like this at least once a year to make sure everyone is refreshed and ready to handle this kind of emergency. The NSAA Unified Bowling Championships were today at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln. Channel 8's Anthony D'Agostino talked with leaders of the event about why it's important to have unified sports.
What this event does is it gives students who wouldn't have had the opportunity to win a school trophy a chance to shine on their campus and a chance to feel dignity, a chance to feel like they are a part of that school community, which improves the school climate for every student.
Unified sports means a ton to our schools, so therefore it means a lot to us, and we put a lot of emphasis on the importance of this activity and really what it can do to bring a positive school culture into the building. And ADs will tell you, I know an AD in particular, that he's flat out said he's never had a negative comment about this activity. It's always been about how good of an experience it's been for the partner and athlete working together, but then also how positive it's been for that school to now have these kids interacting on a team all year, and then it grows into the hallways, into the lunchroom, into the classroom.
I frequently hear from parents of students who serve as the unified partners, which are the students that do not have special needs. And what I hear is how much this has impacted their son or daughter, in that they have learned so much from the athletes of Special Olympics and how much their life has been changed, including their career path.
It's been a huge blessing for us to have this event and this activity within our high schools, and then to provide a culminating state championship.
Well, this is exactly my first time being in this bowling alley, and I was just so excited that this is my biggest champion ever in this year, 2021.
And we'll have some more highlights from today in sports during our 6 o'clock newscast tonight. Time now for your first weather, and boy, what a change. Meteorologist Malcolm Byron is in for John tonight. Malcolm, have we even been above freezing yet?
Not as of yet. Now, our high temperature was at midnight and it was 31 degrees, so we've been stuck in the 20s all day long. The last day where we've had temperatures below freezing for the entire day was back in February. It was February 19th. So yeah, welcome to winter. Cloud cover has moved back into the area. Here's a live look over our Shones roofing camera in Beatrice. Lots of clouds overhead, and we see that on the satellite imagery. We're going to keep an overcast sky throughout the overnight hours and for much of the day tomorrow. Wind chill values right now, or the feels like temperature when you factor in the wind, it is downright cold. You will need the coats this evening. Feeling like 17 degrees in the capital city, 14 Grand Island, 26 in Hebron. Actual air temperatures dropping into the low 20s by 6 o'clock, keeping plenty of clouds around. Low temperatures in the low 20s around midnight tonight. It'll actually warm throughout the overnight hours. We do have milder weather on the way. We'll have those forecast details coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Malcolm. Police want you to be on the lookout for a man who they say is dangerous and potentially armed. 29-year-old Brett KURTH of Minnesota is on the run from police. He was last seen in the Fremont area in a stolen vehicle, but then ran away on foot. KURTH is 5 foot 9 inches tall, 175 pounds, and bald with a dark beard. Again, police say he could be armed and is dangerous. If you see him, do not approach, just call police. Now to the latest on that Michigan high school shooting that left 4 students dead. The alleged shooter behind bars and facing first-degree murder charges. His parents were arrested after a manhunt over the weekend. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
The Crumbly family waking up behind bars in the same Oakland County, Michigan jail Monday morning. 15-year-old son Ethan, his father James, and mother Jennifer all charged in the school shooting rampage that killed 4 and injured 7 others.
It's somewhat unique to charge parents, but in this case there was such overwhelming evidence. It just goes beyond any sort of mere negligence or mistake. It's criminal.
Prosecutors arresting the parents over the weekend, saying initially they were nowhere to be found and didn't show up to their arraignment Friday. They were later located tucked away in an empty commercial building in Detroit, their lawyer arguing the couple never intended to flee. In court, both parents pleading not guilty to 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter each.
How are you pleading to count 1?
Not guilty.
Authorities say Ethan's parents ignored warning signs and bought him the gun he allegedly used in the shooting.
The parents are responsible. and I think that they should be held accountable. None of that would have happened if he had not had access to a handgun.
Prosecutors also referencing these Instagram posts, the alleged shooter saying, "Just got my new beauty today," and Jennifer Crumbly writing "Mom and Son Day," testing out his new Christmas present. According to prosecutors, the Crumblies met with school officials the day of the shooting over concerning behavior, but Ethan was sent back to class. Hours later, investigators say he walked out of a bathroom and started firing. The 15-year-old is being charged as an adult. He has pleaded not guilty to 24 charges, including 4 counts of first-degree murder. The school superintendent has ordered an independent investigation of the tragedy to look into the handling of the suspect's behavior before the shooting and the events leading up to it. The Michigan Attorney General offering to help with the investigation. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on the news tonight, a look back at the life and legacy of Bob Dole. Stay with us.
Satisfy a huge hunger with Amigos.
Tonight, we celebrate the life of former Senator, longtime Republican leader, and presidential candidate Bob Dole. He died yesterday at the age of 98. Here's ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
An American hero, Bob Dole dedicated his life to his country, on the battlefield and in the U.S. Senate. Born in 1923 in the small town of Russell, Kansas, Dole grew up to become a star student and athlete. But in 1943, all of that was put on hold. He saw combat in World War II, severely injured while fighting in Italy. Dole's body ripped apart by shrapnel and left for dead. He managed to survive, then return home and start a grueling recovery.
Of all the titles I've had, I try to get one I didn't get. but the one I'm most proud of is the title of veteran.
Dole's right arm would never heal, a constant reminder of war. It would fuel his fight for those with disabilities. A key player in enacting the Americans for Disabilities Act in 1990. And with his second wife, Elizabeth, Dole later established a foundation to help care for wounded warriors. The pair were a political powerhouse, two of the most respected figures in Washington.
And I may be a little biased as her senator and her husband, but when George Bush talked about the 1,000 points of light, he probably had Elizabeth in mind.
During his career in Congress, Dole helped usher in an era of bipartisanship on issues like civil rights and the social safety net. His star rose quickly, chairman of the RNC. He joined the presidential ticket with Gerald Ford as a vice presidential candidate, then Senate Majority Leader. Later, after launching multiple failed runs for president, Dole finally won the Republican nomination in 1996, facing off against President Clinton. That race quickly turned Bob Dole into a pop culture staple. He made several late-night appearances, poking fun at his persona.
I don't run around saying Bob Dole does this and Bob Dole does that. That's not something Bob Dole does.
And while Dole lost the race, he never lost his sense of humor. When President Clinton awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom just months after the election, Dole was able to laugh at his own defeat, pretending to be sworn in at the White House.
I, Robert J. Dole. Do solemnly swear. Sorry, wrong speech.
So I leave you all tonight with a full heart and a fervent prayer that we will meet again and we will meet often. In this land where miracles are always happening, where every day is a new beginning and every life a blessing from God. Thank you for all you've done and all you will do in the future for America. Thank you very much, and God bless America.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Man, we cannot get rid of the cloud cover. We had a little bit of clearing this morning, but the cloud cover is back in full force, looking live over our Allo Communications camera. We looked at the satellite imagery and first forecast. Yeah, they're definitely in full force. Wind speeds have died down since this morning. Right now, 5 miles per hour out of the northeast. Still enough wind to provide a wind chill in many locations, but actual air temperatures are cold. So yeah, it's just feeling cold outside this evening. You'll definitely want to take a coat if you're going out and about. 17 degrees is the feels like temperature when you factor in the wind in the capital city, 25 in Beatrice. We have teens out towards the Tri-Cities, 14 degrees in Grand Island, 16 in Hastings, and again, these are the feels like temperatures. Actual air temperatures are in the lower 20s for many. It's 23 degrees in Lincoln, 25 in Beatrice, 21 York and Aurora, 22 Grand Island, 24 in Hastings. Now, as we head throughout the next several hours, temperatures will slowly start to drop off. They're going to slowly fade off because we have cloud cover overhead, and that limits the amount of cooling we can see. I actually think our low temperature tonight will be closer to midnight, right around 21 degrees, as temperatures will steadily start to rise in the overnight hours as we have southerly winds. By tomorrow morning, we'll likely be in the middle to upper 20s. So our low temperature for tonight will likely occur closer to midnight. 21 degrees is our forecast, so we'll have cloudy skies, and the wind speeds will start to increase throughout the overnight hours as well with our temperatures. Winds out of the south and southeast 5 to 15, gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Again, the higher amounts probably closer towards tomorrow morning. 43 degrees for your Tuesday. It's a mostly cloudy day, breezy at times. There may be a few breaks in the clouds in the afternoon, but it's mostly cloudy on average. Another breezy day for your Tuesday. High temperatures over the next several days. We're looking at 43 degrees for tomorrow, but we're going to get warmer on Wednesday, perhaps upper 40s to around 50. So here are those mild temperatures returning, perhaps into the middle 50s on Thursday. We're forecasting a high of 55 degrees for Thursday, so that'll feel quite nice. And then Friday comes along. We're going to be watching an area of low pressure in Colorado. Along to the north and west of this area of low pressure, we have some snow out farther west. As this low pressure system tracks through Kansas, we're going to be watching some snow developing in northwest Nebraska as it continues to push off towards the northeast. Perhaps some snow across much of central and northern Nebraska. Now, the big question is how much moisture will there be with this low pressure system, and how close will this low pressure system track to Nebraska? See, the thing is, I'm wondering whether or not South southeast Nebraska will get in on some of this precipitation. It's possible that most of the precipitation will fall well north of Nebraska. We still have a lot of time to watch this, but here's what we do know as of right now. The best chance for snow is north of Lincoln, and we also know that the cutoff between who sees snow and who doesn't will likely be very sharp. We'll probably have a sharp gradient in snowfall accumulations. Again, we're not talking about snowfall accumulations just yet for Lincoln, and it's possible that Lincoln might get nothing at all. We still have some time to watch this, so it's not a guarantee we will see snow in Lincoln, but we are continuing to watch things here. Here's a look at our 10-day forecast. Again, recapping midweek, we're warming up. Mild temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday, partly cloudy on Thursday. The potential for snow on Friday right now, keeping things mostly dry in Lincoln. I think the best chance will be mainly north, 42 degrees on Friday. Depending on whether or not we have some snow on the ground, we'll be a little bit cooler on Saturday and Sunday, so the temperatures are kind of a wild card there, but a heat dome moves in the upper atmosphere. That should warm temperatures as we go in towards the beginning of next week. Right now, the upper 50s on Tuesday, perhaps reaching the 60s by the middle part of the following week.
Malcolm Byron, everyone. I haven't said your name in so long.
I know, it's been too long.
Good to have you here, Malcolm. Thank you. Now to more serious news again. In Omaha, the community is remembering those who lost their lives 14 years ago during a shooting at the Von Meyer store in Westroads Mall.
911, what's your emergency?
A 19-year-old gunman opened fire on customers and employees on the third floor of the store before turning the gun on himself. 8 people lost their lives on that day. 4 others were injured. The Omaha Police Department says the memories of that day remain strong for our team and community. Here's a look at Wall Street. It was a great day. Dow gaining 647 points, NASDAQ up 140. We'll be right back.
This week, tracking Omicron as stricter testing rules for travelers go into effect, plus the Delta variant's winter surge, the state's hardest hit so far. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
You can buy a bed anywhere, but at Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we take the fear out of making a bad decision so you can get the best sleep possible. We build each mattress right here in our store. We custom make them to your specific needs. We can make any size, any shape, any comfort level. We can even make his side different than her side if you prefer. Then we back that purchase.
For kids.
Finally tonight, an infestation overreaction leads to disaster, and a fast food friendship leads to a brand new home. Here's tonight's Take a Look at This.
When it comes to creepy, crawly critters, the interwebs are loaded with humorous memes putting a silly spin on infestation overreactions. But authorities in Maryland say a $1 million home really did go up in flames after an ill-fated attempt to smoke out some unwanted snakes. They say the owners of this once stately home west of Baltimore were burning coals in the basement to try and smoke out a snake infestation. But the embers were too close to combustible materials, and a fire quickly ripped through the home, which sustained more than $1 million of damage. No one was injured, and officials deemed the fire an accident. Oh, and the status of the snakes was unknown. Officials took to social media to remind others with pest problems, when in doubt, hire out. Call a professional. Time for some good news. 'Tis the season of giving, and this heartwarming story from Ohio may just take the cake.
I can't wait to see it.
After a financial hardship left them displaced, Dunkin' Donuts employee Ebony Johnson and her family are now enjoying a brand new, fully furnished home, courtesy of a loyal customer and friend. Suzanne Burke says she's been visiting Johnson at the Dunkin' drive-thru for years, and when she learned of Johnson's housing issue, she partnered with local organizations, a furniture bank, and a staging designer.
When she experienced this hardship, I just wanted to see if I could help her.
Now Johnson's family can be home for the holidays thanks to a friendship formed over coffee, crullers, and carside customer service.
I'm just so thankful that we're back in our own.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
All right, let's get one more check of our finally chilly forecast, Malcolm.
Right, Megan, shorts and t-shirt weather, right? No, just kidding. You'll definitely want to wear the coats this evening. Temperatures dropping into the low to mid-20s. Lots of cloud cover this evening.
All right, thank you, Malcolm. And thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned. World News Tonight is up next with David Muir, and we'll see you at 6.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Closed captioning on